Barbie!
I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi's a trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello and welcome to episode 68 of the Real Serious Podcast. As always, joined by Charles and Jack. And this week, this is the week we've been waiting for. We've been waiting. We've been talking about it. I would say since episode maybe like 30, like halfway. It's been a long time, but it's time for The Accountant 2. Before all that, we got news. We got some recap, some stuff. But first, what's up, boys? Jack, you are tan all over. How was little five?
Sunburn.
Yeah. I was being generous. I was trying to be generous.
Dude, you know what's even worse? I have graduation photos tomorrow.
Ooh. Aloe it up.
A nice dusting of makeup would never is going to hurt you. We'll never look back in those photos in 20 years and laugh, all right? It'll be okay.
You know, I've actually come on here with makeup a couple times. You guys just didn't notice. You know, I just
exactly.
I had to look good for the fans. You know, I had to do it.
Thank you for your service.
No, but I got screwed yesterday. I went outside and my face got just burned. And it
Did you apply suntan lotion or sunscreen?
Did we?
No, I did not. It was Bloomington. It was like 50 degrees and 40 degrees in the morning. Come on. Like,
yeah, that means it's going to be 75 by like 1 p.m.
No, I mean, it could very much mean it's going to be 2 degrees, by 1 p.m. And it's
not for little five, not for that magical time of year.
Well, we did have a cold year once. I think it was Jack's freshman year.
I think it might have been, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, but not often.
Slow week for me on movies, though. Dude, I was out of it. So I was pumped to see The Accountant too, but I know
your slow week is my fast week, I suspect, because fast week was heavy week. I saw 3 movies, and that was more than usual.
What the?
Yeah, well, I saw 2, so
I saw 6.
Wow, holy
wow! That is 6er week.
This man is cooking.
Yeah, well, nothing else to do. So
you've been on an absolute heater.
I have been, and you know what? I think I got 2 more weeks in this hotel, and I think what I'm really going to focus on the next 2 weeks is finishing Mission Impossible and original movies that I haven't seen yet. So I'm going with movies I haven't seen and Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Yeah. And I did pretty good this week for movies I haven't seen. I had I had 2. Never mind. 2. 33%. No, 3. Never mind. 3. Half I had not seen before.
I'm sure you wanna spill.
Let's dive right in.
Yeah, let's go first. I'm gonna go first. So I'm on Japan Talk on TikTok right now. I'm really missing the trip that Charles. Well, it's like people going to Japan. It's like all these people like on trips and stuff, and I'm like, I like them, and that you like one, and then your feed just becomes
keep coming
videos. Yeah,
one Lady Gaga talk.
Nice.
Somehow I'm on the Flash talk, and I don't even like the Flash. Like,
whoa. Grant Gustin, the Flash.
I never watched the show.
Oh, I used to love that show back in middle school. So anyway, I was on Japan Talk, so I was like, all right, let me watch some Studio Ghibli, because I feel like we've been talking about it for months, and I just haven't got around to any. So I decided to watch Kiki's Delivery Service. Arguably, probably the most accessible and easiest concept-wise of the Ghibli films. It was so charming in the best possible way, about Kiki, who's a young witch who has to go prove herself out in the world. I loved every bit of it. Vibes were immensely high. Big recommend for me. Definitely think this is a good stepping on place for Ghibli movies, because it is very, I would say, Western in its influences and just feel. So I started that 4-star banger off the jump. I was like, this is going to be a great week. Then I was like, all right, I hated on him last week. I've been hating on him for weeks. The Zack Snyder cult. I was like, maybe you know what? I have to give them their due. Maybe they were onto something. Maybe they saw something that I just didn't see. So I went back and I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. And before I say anything, I just want to say this. I am very glad that this movie got made. I'm very glad that Zack Snyder got to see his vision through. But having said that, every time I see this movie, I like it less. And I don't like the way that he portrays these characters. I think that they are very negative in their portrayal. I think that they don't act like I think they should. And now I will say a big argument for this movie is, well, in a world without Superman, there is a lack of joy and a lack of hope. Great. 100% agree. I think in a world where Superman dies, you're going to have a more nihilistic look at the future, and these characters would be put through that lens. 100%, I'm on board with you. My main issue is once Superman shows back up, the tone doesn't change. In fact, Superman just joins the tone of the other characters. He's negative. He wears the black suit. He's not like a good time coming back. It's not Superman to me. Like, and also he's in it for like 6 minutes of the 4.5-hour runtime. Like, I'm sorry, I like Henry Cavill as much as the next guy. This is just not Superman. He got a bad deal. He got put in bad movies as Superman. I'm very glad he moved on from this. So yes, that was my Zack Snyder rewatch.
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, no. I still think it looks pretty, so that's nice. Also, I forgot how much slow motion was in this movie. Oh my god, is it in slow motion? Ben
Affleck's Batman is awesome. Sorry, just had to throw that out there.
Okay, let me ask you this then. If you're a big Ben Affleck Batman guy, why does he not wear the mask when he's doing Batman things? He just is Bruce Wayne.
I don't know.
Like
he's just got it.
Like I guess so, but like when he goes to try to find Arthur Curry, like Aquaman, why is he not Batman? And he's just going to that town as Batman. Like, hey, I need your help. I'm Batman.
I understand what you're saying. That makes sense.
Or like when he gets the Flash, like it should just be like, hey, I'm Batman. Come help me. It's like, hello, I am billionaire Bruce Wayne, the most known character in the history of comics and film to protect my identity, showing up to your door in my super tricked out car and with no bat suit in sight. It's like, what are we doing here, folks? So
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. But
hey,
I do like I like the dark portrayal of Batman in the Snyder movies. Definitely not the.
It's definitely a different portrayal.
It's a choice, but
it is. I think it works a lot better in Batman v Superman than it does here.
I'm just mad we never got a solo Ben Affleck Batman movie. Obviously, I'm like incredibly happy that we have the Pattinson Batman, and it's like amazing. But I just feel like that whole universe happened, and obviously Batman vs Superman. But like we all know that was never a Batman movie. Like everyone knew that was like Superman's movie. Personally, but sorry. I just had to throw that out there.
Kal-El, no. Also, I forgot that whole nightmare sequence at the end with like Joker.
Yeah.
Like the movie was ending and I was like, oh, okay, like this is a nice little bow on it all. And then he can't help himself. Evil Superman shows right back up. And it's like, dude, what are we doing? He's not interesting when he's evil. I'm sorry. It's way more interesting when he is a good guy. Oh my God. All right. Then I was like, all right, let me cleanse my palate. Let me watch something I've never seen before. And I watched 48 Hours, 1982. It is Eddie Murphy's first ever film role. He is still on SNL at the time, and it's him and Nick Nolte as two cops. Well, actually, Nick Nolte's a cop, and Eddie Murphy is like basically a cop in this movie, but he's not. He's like a con man who's in jail, and he gets like let out to help the cop, and he becomes like a surrogate cop. Insanity. Very 80s, and I really liked it. I gave it 3 stars, very close to a 3.5-star banger. Then, with Thunderbolts coming out this week, I had to go back, check out Black Widow. Honestly, liked it more than I thought I would on the rewatch. Gave it 3 stars. And Florence Pugh is incredible here. Big recommend. Then The Accountant 2, which we'll talk about later. And finally, after canceling my showtime 3 times, I decided to just do it and go see Star Wars.
Nope.
I'm so sorry.
We didn't. I'm sorry, we didn't hear you.
Oh no, what happened? Am I back?
You went out.
Am I back again?
Yeah. You are back.
This is Disney. Disney's trying to silence me.
All we know is that you canceled it 3 times and then decided to go.
Okay, so I decided to go. And I kind of felt nothing. I'm so sorry. I think my love of Star Wars is gone. I liked it. There was never a moment though that I was like, this is what I've been missing. This is the feeling that I wanted
How was the
back.
theater?
It was pretty packed. I would say like 40%.
Did people join it? Like, were they getting fired up?
A couple people brought lightsabers. We're very respectful with them. Didn't light them up till after the movie.
Nice.
We had a few folks who did the hello there, which I thought was
Nice.
great. One guy did this is where the fun begins. I liked that. And also, I will say, I hate to be that guy, but this movie did make me like The Last Jedi just a little bit more because hang on. When Palpatine talks to Anakin about the story of Darth Plagueis, and he tells the story of how he then killed his master in his sleep. It was the one thing he couldn't account for. I was like, oh, what a nice little parallel to The Last Jedi, where it's kind of the reverse situation where the master is going to kill the youngling in his sleep. And it's like, oh, George Lucas, classic George Lucas line. It's like poetry. It rhymes. I thought that was a nice little, moment where it's like, oh, look at that little connection there. But yeah, my love of Star Wars is just really it's been hurt. And also what's interesting too is this year is the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. So I wonder if in December we'll get a re-release.
Sure hope not.
But that's the thing with Star Wars, right? Like we go around this rabbit hole, but like there have been 9 of them. There have been 9 of them, and I like.
Apparently, there have been 11.
There have been 11 of them, and I like 5.
And your 5 are questionable, but that's okay.
But yet you like all the Fast and Furious movies. All right, come on.
I'm sorry. I've never said Fast and Furious is high class cinema. I said it's
okay.
a fun
Good.
time. I said it's a fun time where I'm having a wonderful
experience. It's a casual take, Hunter.
Listen, we've talked about before how our Star Wars love is gone. And I do think it's because of this. It's because people just want to go back and watch the same people do the same things forever. And the moments they try to move on and try to do something different, people hate on it and they don't want it anymore. Where that's the stuff that I think is interesting. And so that's where I'm like, I'm good.
Fair enough. I'm going to see it this week.
And let me know how you feel about it.
It is 100% hands down my favorite Star Wars movie. It's just so nostalgia filled for me that I just feel almost overwhelmed every single time I watch this movie in like the best way possible. So I'm so pumped to see it, but it does break my heart that you don't love it as much as I feel
casual. Not a casual.
Just
no, I feel like that.
Padme's honestly was broken when Anakin betrayed her.
I feel like it is a casual take to have Revenge of the Sith at number 1.
Yeah, isn't that like the most like it's that and The Empire Strikes Back are like the number 1 and 2 for almost all Star Wars fans?
See, I think someone's saying like The Last Jedi is the number 1.
Yeah,
I think let's be honest. Like you got to respect it. They kind of know ball.
Yeah.
Like The Last Jedi has some pretty awesome sequences to it. While there are some, negative aspects that I didn't find much.
Now you want to be really cool, be like me and have Rogue One be your number 1.
Yeah. See this guy.
Yeah. This guy knows ball. This guy knows ball.
So unfortunately, I feel like we're the casuals here, Charlie.
Also, wasn't it a complaint for you guys that there was like the casino planet in The Last Jedi? Wasn't that a complaint?
I did. Yeah.
There was a 50s diner in Attack of the Clones. Did we ever talk about that? How George Lucas just put a 50s diner in Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, but that dude there rocks.
Yeah. He's like...
But you didn't love the little dude just putting coins in BB-8?
See, but the thing was, I think it was fun talking about that episode, or like talking about the Star Wars stuff, because like the things that I didn't find value in, you like immediately found value in. And I'm like, you know what? I think I appreciate that more.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do. We're here to elevate the movie-going experience for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, even think about in your favorite Star Wars movie of all time, the one I just saw, Revenge of the Sith, there is the scene where obviously we just talked about the Plagueis scene, and they're at like a ballet of water floating in the air. That's pretty similar, I would say, to the casino. I mean, just rich people doing rich people things in different parts of the galaxy.
They spent like 2 minutes in that fountain,
and then they introduce Rose, and it's like, come on, bro, come on.
Nah, bro, I cannot.
We don't care about
Rose Tico haters are incorrect. I stand by.
Right.
You just don't get it.
I think that's just where we all are going to disagree on that one.
Dude, when they do the 20th anniversary of The Last Jedi, that theater's going to be empty except for me. I'll be right there cheering it along.
It'll be
me.
More.
Yeah.
More.
And then when they do the what's the Rise of Skywalker, it'll be you guys there doing They Fly Now. That's going to happen, though. In 20 years, and then all the kids who grew up with this one are going to be like, actually, the sequel trilogy was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
They're going to go, They Fly Now. And all the kids are going to throw their popcorn everywhere. They're going to be like, oh, They Fly Now.
I would be willing to bet. Yeah. I would be willing to bet that in 2007, there were like 3 dudes sitting around, probably in their 30s, talking about how like, oh, the prequel trilogy just isn't that good, and doesn't compare to the original Star Wars. And then one of them was probably like, you know what? Maybe in 20 years, the kids that saw it today are going to really like it because it's their Star Wars. And then they were like, no. And it's exactly what happened because it was you guys, where you like the prequel trilogy.
I can't disagree with you on that take, but the way I feel towards them will not change.
Star Wars enjoyer watches Andor.
We'll circle back episode 550 and we'll discuss.
Like I genuinely, I think that the Rise of Skywalker is the only bad one in the new trilogy. That's the only bad one. In
the new trilogy.
Yeah. I feel like the rest of them are like incredibly entertaining and they're fun to watch, but they crashed it, man. They couldn't stick the landing.
So yeah, I'm gonna watch Andor season 2, and I will let you know if I've reorganized my love with Star Wars.
No.
I'll let you know.
I'll let you know after this week with my theater, with my viewing.
Please do. All right, who's next?
Jack.
All right. No, okay, sure. Super awesome week. I saw The Accountant 2, and then I watched a super cool documentary for my marketing class called Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy.
They buy now.
They buy now. It was honestly, the documentary was pretty interesting. It's literally just saying that we just keep making a ton of stuff and then it just, there's no way to recycle it and we're just throwing it into the earth, and very much they're very anti the popcorn buckets, because why do we need them? Why do we need more popcorn buckets, But that's
where am I going to put my popcorn?
Is there?
That's the vibe I was picking up from it, but entertaining. But that's literally the only thing I watched along with The Accountant 2 this week. I didn't even get to watch The Studio this week. I was pretty upset.
Neither did I. So
we can catch up next week.
1 week behind.
Yeah.
Idiots.
God, so stupid.
Charlie.
I watched 3 movies, and I actually just quoted one of them, Napoleon Dynamite. First time watching that.
Nice little. That's what people call foreshadowing in the business.
You like that?
I did like that. That's nice.
Gave that 3 stars. It's like, have you guys seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
It's not what you expect. Like, you hear everyone talking about how hysterical it is. It's very funny. It's like an awkward, strange humor. Kind
of like Scott Pilgrim.
You know who directed Napoleon Dynamite, Charles?
I do. I looked at this and I forget.
What else does he direct that we talked about very recently?
Hold on. The Minecraft movie.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, very different vibe. Napoleon Dynamite is a very different vibe. But it's funny. I watched The Accountant 2, and I watched pure cinema this past week. I watched Clint Eastwood's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Whoa.
Absolutely phenomenal film. Yeah, I spoiled it for you guys, but it cracked the top 4 of my letterbox.
Mm-hmm.
It took Paddington 2's spot. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. That's not very polite of you. So,
See,
and I think Aunt Lucy would be very disappointed.
I'm probably getting the hard stare from Paddington right now.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a visual of Clint Eastwood just with the gun just loaded in his holster, and Paddington
with the cigar,
there, and he just shot him out of the top 4.
Yeah. But
so
gosh, it was good. Have you guys seen this movie? You both have, right?
Yes. Okay. Sometimes I get that trilogy like intertwined in my head. I thought the ending of this was the ending of A Fistful of Dollars.
Sweet stuff.
Yeah. Because I was like, now do you understand Back to the Future? But
he's like, yeah, super cool. The score is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the score is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Modelo stole that. The Ecstasy of Gold.
See, I always say that to my roommate, and it's just like, Ecstasy of Gold is like one of the greatest, songs and like one of the best scores ever. And he was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Dude, like Modelo, like you've definitely heard this like so many times, and it's just so unfortunate that it's just associated with Modelo for so many people instead of."
Yeah, I heard it and I was like, "Is that?" And then like as he was like running around the cemetery, I was getting chills. It was so crazy. But got a few nerd nuggets, not a ton, but I've got a couple. Since you've both seen it, you know that the man with no name, or Clint Eastwood's character, Blondie, whatever, he always has a cigar. Like literally the entire movie, he has a cigar. Turns out he didn't like the cigar at all. Like when he was shooting, he would, I don't know, he'd be smoking it and he hated the taste. And because of that, I guess he hand selected these specific types of cigars because he hated them, because it made him more of like a rugged, like scruffy character because he was kind of in a bad mood. Well, because he was smoking it, which is why he kept doing it, because it helped him get into character, which I thought was very interesting. But the other nerd nugget is, that bridge that they blow up towards the end of the movie, it's with like 20 minutes left. Turns out they had to do that twice. When they blew it up the first time, it's also like a big bridge.
Yeah.
And when they blew it up the first time, I guess there's one guy to signal when to go, one guy to record, and one guy to actually, detonate it. The guy who detonated it got the signal, let it blow, but the cameraman wasn't ready. So then they spent 3 weeks rebuilding it just to blow it up again. So yeah.
It's just like Tropic Thunder. They set off the explosives too early. Mother Nature's gonna pee her pants. Sorry. I like that movie very much, and that reminded me.
No worries. But yeah, it was so good. I think I'm going to go on a Western kick.
Dude, I've been thinking about this. We need more Westerns. We haven't had a Western in so long.
We had like 2 last year.
What?
What, Horizon? Bro, you're a big Horizon fan. How could you forget?
Okay, listen.
We had Horizon. We had the one with Viggo Mortensen.
I'm saying like not a 3-hour. I want like a good a quick, like a good 90-minute, 2-hour like action. Listen, as much as I love Horizon, that's a 4-part story that I've gotten 1 part of. I want more Cowboys. And also, it also didn't do
low
good.
Key.
It also didn't do good.
Low-key Sinners felt like very much like a Western vibe.
Yes,
I just digged it, dude.
Yes,
it was so awesome. Like the score, like everything about the movie. It's just like I was just getting Western vibes, and it was.
I want movie
perfect.
stars on horses, and I haven't got that in a long time.
If you really like this movie, Once Upon a Time in the West, the opening sequence for that movie is just chef's kiss, or like pretty early into the movie. It's awesome.
You ever seen Tombstone?
No, that's been one I've been trying to watch forever.
Big Tombstone guy. Love Tombstone.
No.
Also, Unforgiven. Unforgiven is very good.
I've needed to. Those are like the 2 on my watch list right now that I need to, because like the Fistful of, like the Dollars trilogy is like, a fistful of dollars, a few dollars more, and then the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So like, Charlie, have you seen any of those?
I haven't seen the first 2 you said.
Yeah, the Fistful of Dollars is awesome because like watching them in order, like a fistful of dollars, then a few dollars more, you just see how, like the scale of each movie just like expands. Like the first one is like super contained story. The second one, it gets bigger. They add more characters. They have, there's like they're going from place to place. As where I think Fistful of Dollars is just like one setting. But then like the good, the bad, and the ugly is literally like, yeah, blank check. Let's just do whatever we want and go everywhere. Yeah, super sweet.
The next two on my watch list, I think, for Westerns are Magnificent Seven and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Okay. I think I haven't seen either of those, but I know those are very well received.
Yeah. And I texted you guys the Red Rocks concert or like Film on the Rocks schedule just released. I feel like that'd be a great place to watch a Western, but they didn't play any Westerns. They've got 2001, which honestly, that'd be really sweet as well.
That'd be sweet.
Pirates of the Caribbean, also really cool. Willy Wonka, not a huge fan. Legally Blonde, not a huge fan. And Shrek 2. But Shrek 2 would be good anywhere.
Yeah, Shrek 2 is awesome.
Yeah.
But like I feel like Willy Wonka or Legally Blonde, probably Willy Wonka, like that would have been a really good, I don't know, Western.
Is it the OG Wonka or is it the Johnny Depp Wonka?
It's OG.
Oh, sweet. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we all like Westerns though. I feel like a Western episode would be so fire. We just maybe like I'd love to throw Unforgiven in there, maybe Tombstone. Obviously, those are two that maybe we could throw Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in there as well. I think that'd be a blast. I'd be so pumped for that.
Be in.
Yeah. It sounds like we all, I don't know. I feel like we've never gone this in depth into what we watched this week.
Especially when we get like this. Movies.
I like this. That was nice.
That was very nice.
I thought that was nice.
Hey, I want to be the first to say that's pretty good. That was pretty nice.
I thought it was kind of fantastic.
What?
Got to keep it going.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off news with Sinners. So this is the first time in 2 years that 4 movies have had a $20 million weekend domestically, which is awesome. Sinners is looking to have a $45 million second opening weekend. And Star Wars will be second place, followed by The Accountant, followed by Minecraft. It's looking at a possible, let's see, I believe it is the smallest drop in the genre since Avatar of original movies. It's going to be a 6% decrease from the Easter holiday launch, which is just insane to see. Yeah. IMAX is the big reason why, and the IMAX screens only were a 9% decrease from the last week. Actually, apologies, 9% increase from last weekend in IMAX screens. So that is a huge, huge thing. And it's so funny because I feel like we've been coming on this podcast for months and people have only been saying, I want more original movies. Where are my original movies? And we've been like, hey, there have been a lot of great original movies. Like, we all liked Novocaine. Those of us saw it. We all, I think, decently. I like Drop. Warfare was quite good. There are these movies out there. And then finally one breaks through, and it breaks through in such a big way. It's just awesome to see. I'm really glad that we've all seen this as people on a movie podcast.
Yeah. You got me for a second. I was totally in. I was like,
this guy.
Hey, look, when Charlie goes next week, they're not gonna have a decrease at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be even.
Him going. They're like, yeah.
Yeah. Next weekend's gonna be tougher for this because it's gonna lose all of its IMAX screens to Thunderbolts.
Sure.
So, but still.
I'm looking at upcoming releases. I know we just talked about 5 minutes ago how there are no Westerns.
Oh, no,
There's actually one coming out this weekend. It was made in 2024, Rust, with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, that's finally getting released.
That was the big this weekend?
No, May. Oh, next weekend. Next weekend. Yeah, it's finally coming out. Wow. That's the big controversy one with the death, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
Yikes. I didn't think it would ever be released.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say about movies right now, I think the movie theaters are in such a great spot because people coming in, getting used to going to the theaters again, coming to see Sinners, dude, Revenge of the Sith, bringing back everybody. Thunderbolts is coming out next week. The Accountant 2 came out this week. The Legend of Ochi, I've heard, has gotten like great reviews. Super awesome new Willem Dafoe role. Might be in on that, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something out there for everyone in the movies right now. So I think it's just so cool. I don't know. I can't remember the last time the movies were like this packed, where there's like several different movies that I'm just like, yeah, I would go see that. So I'm kind of amped.
I'm pretty freaking amped.
There's another Western coming out in late May.
What's that?
But does it look good?
The Trail of Vengeance. It's the same.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. They're not like they're big Western. It's not like it's like big movies. You know what I mean,
it's also the same weekend as Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's just small releases that like no one is gonna see.
Yeah,
no, Chuck will see them though.
Yeah, Chuck's gonna go see those.
Little triple header.
Yeah. I really don't think I'm going to see Lilo and Stitch, by the way, guys. I think I'll get to it eventually. I just don't think it's an opening weekend for me, especially since I'm flying out to LA.
Especially with Mission Impossible, it makes sense for you to see that as many times in theaters. So
yeah,
it's okay. I mean, you did have it in your top 5 for the box office,
so I got to help out in any way I can.
Yeah.
There's actually like a cool thing they're doing. It's like a 2 p.m. on Thursday. No trailers before it, nothing before it. It starts exactly at 2 p.m. and there's like a collectible ticket coming with it. Can't go. Unfortunately, I'll be getting on a plane at that time to go see Mission Impossible. So my mission, should I choose to accept it, is slightly delayed.
Guys, speaking of Sinners, I got the poster, which was like I was super pumped about at the IMAX screening. Like awesome. But normally like on opening weekend they give out like the little film, like the pieces
you
of
didn't
film.
get
it. They did it this week. They sent something out like they're like, oh, come this Thursday or this Friday or something. I was like, dude, that would have been so cool just to like.
Should have gone again.
I have my Oppenheimer one still. It's in my room.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And sometimes they'll do like different ones for like the weekends it's available. And so I only have the weekend one, Oppenheimer, but I really want the other ones. Maybe one day. But yeah. Next piece of news is an insane piece of news. A new rule for 2026 is that Oscar voters must watch all of the nominated films in each category before voting. It is a mandatory viewing requirement, and I'm so sorry, but what are we doing? How is this just happening in 100 years of the Oscars? That is insanity.
See, I think I see this as like a retaliation from all the like negative backlash that kind of came with the voters saying, oh yeah, I didn't watch Dune 2.
Insane.
Because I feel like it was already just implied that, you know, you're a part of the Academy, you're going to watch all the movies. But because that came out, and I'm sure that's like the first time that anyone heard that some of the Academy may not watch all the movies. So now they're like, well, we have to do something. So they're like, yeah, you have to watch all of them. And I wonder if they're just going to like, make them all get Letterboxd accounts and like log them, I don't know. But it's like, how do you actually make sure they watch these?
I think that there's a platform that Oscar voters get to go through to watch screeners on. And I'm pretty sure the platform probably can like log your watching, because that's how people like watch screeners. Mm-hmm. I think it's like a special industry platform that hey Hollywood, we'd like access to that, please. I would sell out so fast. All right. I would sell out in a heartbeat for you. All right. Just give us a ring. But no, we have integrity on this podcast.
Yeah.
But just give us a ring, and that integrity goes out the window like that. Yeah. But yeah, this is insane that it took this long for them to make them actually watch the movies.
Yeah.
I think this is big for animation, because I think a lot of people don't watch animation specifically.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, I feel like in animation, it's like, obviously this year, I know Charlie was pretty disappointed that The Wild Robot didn't win. And I honestly like would have loved to see it win too, but I feel like Flow is just as deserving. And it's like, I'm not here to debate that, but yeah. I feel like if anything, like, I don't know, especially with the Academy, never mind. I take that back. I feel like Flow is more of an Academy like pick. Like they would watch that over The Wild Robot. So I guess I do agree with you, Hunter. I completely talked myself out of what I just said.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. All right, next piece of news ties to that kind of screening thing I was talking about. Thunderbolts had its first reactions. Obviously, it's going to be on the podcast next week when we talk about it. Unfortunately, Florence Pugh was supposed to join us next week, but busy schedule. She's not able to make it. So we'll get her on a different time to be on the pod. But the first reactions of Thunderbolts are extremely positive. Some people saying that they laughed and cheered. Some people cried. I will say, let's take it with a grain of salt, because I think all those people who get consent to these things and get to go for free obviously are a little influenced, but I would say this is a very positive look ahead for us, and also for my take that this is the best Marvel of the year. So
yeah,
it's
Charles,
not good for my take that it's going to be disappointing.
Yes, not good for your take. Charles, will you be seeing this weekend?
Should be, yeah.
Okay, because we will be spoiling it for you if you don't see it.
Cool.
As punishment.
And I've heard that the post-credit scene is it's kind of spooky. I heard that a certain someone makes an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Teller's Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, but then post-credit scene 2, you know who else shows up in that one? It's the diner owner from Attack of the Clones. Yep, he's there. George Lucas had the plan all along.
What are you guys doing here? What are you guys doing here?
Way.
He had the plan. Look at it, connecting all the strings.
And does Morbius come after?
He's actually at the diner.
Way.
The robot comes by and he goes, "You want a cup of Jawa juice?" And he goes, "No, it's Morbin time." So it's sorry to leak the scene for everybody. So
we're back. So back.
We're so back. But isn't that so funny that the people go see this movie and their first reaction is the post-credit scene? Oh my god! It's dude,
I know.
I'd like to hear about that film.
Did you guys see what the post-credit scene is?
No, I've been like a landmine trying to avoid it at all costs.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it looks good though. The TikTok was very well received for your
my take,
your admiration for this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone was like,
"I'm pumped."
Yeah, this guy knows ball.
This guy.
Must be nice to get support in the TikTok comments.
Yeah.
Must be really nice.
Yeah, like Charlie doesn't have a video with 70,000 views. That's not enough support.
Comments, TikTok comments.
Hey man, it happens. It happens.
Some more Marvel news is that Avengers. What's the next Avengers? Doomsday. Doomsday starts filming tomorrow. It films tomorrow. So that means it releases 1 year basically from when it starts filming. Goo. Yikes.
Wait, I thought Secret Wars came before Doomsday.
It's Doomsday, then Secret Wars, yeah. This goes back to my take I had last week about it's definitely moving. I think it's going to move to the summer, like a June or July Avengers, because Mando Grogu is already set. It's already done filming. How are they thinking it's going to turn around in a year? No way. Unless it's they feel confident with it, but I don't know.
I think it's gonna be cool to get first looks, but at the same time, it's don't post anything. I don't want to see anything.
I'm so sick of leaking culture.
Right?
I'm so over leaking culture.
I thought it was cool when we saw Wolverine in his OG suit for Deadpool Wolverine. I'm not gonna lie, I got hyped, but it's obviously no one, ruined the Chris Evans cameo, but I feel like the leaking culture, man, it's it could happen, they could just leak something that's massive, and it's like the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, such a great surprise. But imagine if we genuinely had no clue.
Oh, it'd been awesome. It would so awesome.
It's okay. I hate the internet, but I also love the internet.
Yeah. No, it's a bad echo chamber that sucks you back in. My favorite one now is the leakers that get it wrong, and then when this thing comes out, they go, "Oh, looks like they changed the script at the last minute." Well, this is what originally was supposed to happen. It's dude, you were wrong. Just say you were wrong. It's all good. All right, next up, let's get into some real cinema. A24 has found its Anthony Bourdain in Dominic Sessa, best known probably for The Holdovers. This broke, and it was big breaking news. And I feel like we talked about this a year ago. So I don't know why it was big breaking news again, but yeah, Anthony Bourdain biopic with Dominic Sessa coming. Did you just ask who Anthony Bourdain is?
Is that bad? Is that bad?
I would say that that's not great. I feel like Anthony Bourdain's pretty famous.
I looked him up. Doesn't even do anything for me. I have no idea.
Doesn't help you at all?
No.
He like had a show where he'd go around the world and like try food and like learn about culture. He's a very famous show.
See, I was too busy playing sports growing up to.
Hey, you ever seen the movie The Big Short?
Yeah.
Remember the scene with the chef where he's talking about like the day old like food and then it goes in the soup? They break away and they like Margot Robbie in the bubble bath. Remember how they do that? They jump away and they come back.
Selena Gomez, remember?
Selena Gomez, yeah. Selena Gomez playing craps.
I'm convinced I haven't seen The Big Short.
Dude, you have to.
After all this.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Big Short. No, I definitely have. Hold on.
Adam
Breaking
McKay,
Away, Adam McKay,
Ryan Gosling.
No, I have seen The Big Short.
Remember, there's a bubble.
Yeah, there's a bubble with the Coachella tickets right now.
Yeah, we got to short the housing market.
No, yeah, I'm with it.
Okay. We're learning a lot about Charles in this episode. Well, anyway, Dominic Sessa will be playing Anthony Bourdain, which would be very interesting. I wonder how much.
I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I wonder how much of his life they're going to jump into. Like, it'll be early life, or it's going to be like when he actually does like the TV shows and is more famous as a person. Be very interesting. All right. Next up, we have Honey Don't sets its August theatrical release. Honey Don't is an upcoming detective movie by Ethan Coen, starring Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, Lena Hall, Chris Evans, Charlie Day, Billy Eichner, about a female detective who is doing detective things. Sounds pretty good. I'm very.
Chris Evans is back.
Yeah,
Chris
he actually is.
I'm so pumped.
We
This
did hate on
rom-com-
Chris Evans.
Well, think about it. We didn't hate. We're not like we didn't come out and say we hate Chris Evans. We said, Chris, we love you as an actor.
You know, he's a listener, obviously.
Yeah, of course he's like, guys, like I got you. I got like just trust.
Just trust.
You know, it's gonna come out. Like I got some great projects coming up. Like you're gonna see the trailer. I got this new rom-com with Pedro Pascal. Dude, we're so back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. Sorry.
He's like, let me do Red One to make some money, and then I'll be good, and we can go back to what I was doing beforehand.
It's like Sydney Sweeney going, yeah, I had to do.
It's like, hey, I'm Sydney Sweeney for Dr. Squatch. It's like, yeah, Sydney, you know what? You do those so we can get more original movies from you. That's okay.
No, she's like, I had to do Madam Web to do anything or anyone but you.
And that's a trade I'm willing to take 99% of the time.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Now I got to see what Sydney Sweeney has coming up.
She's got a lot coming up. She's got a full
original movie.
play.
Whoa, Sydney Sweeney is doing a split fiction movie with Wicked director John M. Chu. Huh? What the heck?
Jack, keep pulling the props out, and it is getting cooler and cooler.
It's getting very cool. All right, let's do this one next. Let's do two Netflix things back to back. Let's do something I'm personally hyped for that no one else in this podcast is hyped for, and that's Enola Holmes 3. Let me tell you, boys, the first two Enola Holmes, perfect streaming movies. I don't remember a thing from them except for Henry Cavill's in them. They're pretty funny and charming, and Millie Bobby Brown.
What's his name is also in it? Sam Claps.
That was close. Sam Clapsum.
Sam Clapsum what?
Sam Claflin.
Yeah. Well, Henry Cavill's in these. And he is Sherlock. So
cool.
I don't know. They're good movies. It's very funny that Millie Bobby Brown is like just allocated to Netflix only. But you know what? Because she hates movies, maybe that's better for her. So you do you, Millie Bobby Brown. You do you.
Yeah. Speaking of Stranger Things, when is that? Like they still haven't given us the release date, right?
Yeah, that's got to be soon, right?
I mean, they said it was coming out in the summer, and are they just going to drop it on us? And they're like, "It's coming in 1 week," and we're gonna be like,
That's kind of how The Last of Us felt.
It's expected to come out fall 2025. Fall 2025. Oh. I would say let's call it October. I would say maybe 4th of July weekend we get our first trailer.
Pumped. They probably do it at like Comic-Con, or maybe this I feel like Comic-Con would be like a great time to release it. You know?
Yeah. You know what? Charlie and I will be on scene, and we'll do a personal interview with Millie Bobby Brown, our close personal friend of the pod.
We'll vlog it.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hey guys, what's up? Here with Millie. And she starts hating on movies. We're like, Millie, you gotta
Hey guys.
Millie, relax.
Millie, chill. So yeah.
Excellent transition.
So transitioning, this is you know what? 68 episodes later, we're just as good as we were episode 1. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, title confirmed. It's going to be called The Continuing Adventures of Cliff Booth, coming to Netflix. Why are we doing this?
So bad.
It's so stupid. I don't want it. I was like, if you would have told me Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, I'm like, I'm in. And then it's a TV show coming to Netflix. I'm just so uninterested. It's amazing how fast that works.
It's funny because I remember it came out and it was like April Fool's, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a joke. Like this is like Tarantino would love to pull something like this, and it's like, no, David Fincher is directing, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah,
we all thought it was a movie, and then they release it, and it's a TV show, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would love to watch him make mac and cheese and drive around town and hang out with his dog and watch TV. That sounds like a blast.
Sounds awesome.
So I might just tune in for the vibes, you know, crack open a cold one, sit on the couch. I got nothing to do and just hang out with Cliff Booth, you know. Love that guy.
That does sound nice. Nice.
I'm more, you know what, to be honest, I'm most disappointed with is Brad Pitt and all this. Like, you won an Oscar for this role. Like, dude, I feel like you just be a movie star. Stick to the movies. But you know what? Maybe the money is just too good, so I can't judge you that much. All right. Next up is something I thought was a joke because of the show The Studio, and that is a Jonestown TV series coming to HBO starring Bill Hader, which would be insane. So yeah, Jonestown.
We need a Steve Buscemi.
Steve,
I don't even know what to say anymore. We need him to show up, make a cameo. That would be like so electric.
That would be very cool. All right, we're gonna pivot real quick because Jack has to leave at 9. This is some behind the scenes on the podcast. Accountant 2. We're pivoting quickly.
That's sharp transition.
Sharp transition. See, that's what I'm saying. The transitions today are electric. All right, Accountant 2. Let me read the synopsis real quick, and then we will get into it. We'll do non-spoiler, then spoilers. Christian Wolff applies his brilliant mind and illegal methods to reconstruct an unsolved puzzle of a treasury chief's murder. Ben Affleck, John Bernthal, same director as before. J.K. Simmons is back as his Ray King. Boys, what did we think? Specifically, Jack, what did you think first?
Honestly, it was the perfect amount of silliness while also maintaining some of the great aspects from the first one. Gotta say, though, I was a little underwhelmed from the accounting side. You know, I mean, he is.
Yeah. He didn't balance one balance sheet.
No, there were 0 debits and 0 credits. So,
but he did use it to flirt, unsuccessfully, but he did.
I gotta say though, the scene where where they're at the pizza place, and he talks about how, you know, the guy's not he's not reporting part of his income was like elite. I was like, yeah, that's an accountant.
Yeah, he was accounting.
See, he made me proud there, you know, and I think that's what these movies do, you know, like my profession. There's some bad stereotypes out there, but the accounting profession is very admirable. And I got to say, Ben Affleck, he makes it look so good.
Jack, did you get really giddy when he was dating in that one? The first one was like, I just love accountants. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, we won.
Yeah.
We won.
1 point for the good guys.
I mean, if Anna Kendrick is an accountant, then I think we won.
I missed her in this movie.
Me too. I think she was such a like warm presence in the first movie, you know? And I feel like, I don't know, John Bernthal was a great addition here. So I'm not saying, you know, I think we missed out on who the kind of like the secondary character is, but I would, you know, if they do an Accountant 3, you know, I'm saying it. Look, busy season would be kind of electric, and she comes back to help out with some of the accounting work. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think this was. I feel like it wasn't as good as the first one, but like it still scratched that itch and such.
Mhm.
It's different. It's more different than I expected it would be from a sequel of The Accountant. I also think it's very interesting that like I feel like this character did evolve a lot off screen.
Yeah.
He's not I feel like the same man he was when we left him, which is funny because I feel like John Bernthal's character is like exactly the same person. But that's all, the whole thing. I liked his kind of crew of people at the neurological center. I liked their whole like behind the scenes stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I think that was a really good aspect of the first one. And I do think that it kind of did lack in the action.
That's what. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I thought there'd be a bit more of it, but then rewatching Accountant 1, there's not as much action as well. But I think when they do it, it's more impactful in this. Like, I think the action in the first one, like I think back to the when those two guys show up at the old people's house, and then he has to like help save them because he did their taxes. Where like in this one, it's like a bar fight with like guys who, like, it's not that exciting of a fight. Like it's over like super fast.
They don't show it.
Yeah, it's just like it kind of just starts, then it's over. Like it's just stuff like that where it's just like I think that's the stuff I'd like to see a bit more. But yeah, I mean, I still think this was. I think it was better than it has still any right to be. I still feel like that whole way about this entire franchise, but still, I still think we should expect a little more, which is why, I liked it quite a bit, but didn't love it.
Sure.
Okay. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I wanted to hit on, Hunter, you kind of like I echo a lot of what you said. One of my biggest issues was the lack of action, and I was thinking of the restaurant scene. Like Chris is like hyping up the fight that we're expecting, and then John Bernthal's character runs in and then just over. And that would have been a cool brief fight. The pizza place. That was really cool action. The way that he was just like,
I love that,
destroying everyone. We just didn't get a lot of that. It was like that scene and then the final fight, but he didn't do any hand-to-hand combat. It was just shooting. So maybe like one or two extra scenes I would have liked. I do disagree with you, Hunter, in the fact that I kind of went in expecting like a 3-star movie. I felt like, and it also might be because I haven't seen The Accountant super recently, but it didn't feel like there was anything like significantly different from this movie or in this movie from the first one. Like, I feel like they transitioned it super well for a sequel. It struck me more as like a Paddington 2, obviously not like quality wise, but just like keeping the same kind of, I guess, theme, the same like feeling throughout the movie, same characters as well, like not changing their, I don't know, like who they are at all.
I was surprised how much of a sequel it was.
Yeah.
Like bringing back like the kind of like the FBI agent lady. I was surprised that like she was the same, obviously. And like even J.K. Simmons' character, like I was just surprised how much it actually did truly connect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I liked all that stuff. Besides the action, the other thing that bothered me a little bit, maybe I just like wasn't as locked in as I should have been. The story, it was pretty convoluted to me. Like I was trying to like figure out like where everyone like came in. I don't know. I think that's just me. But it's almost like they threw like one too many things into the plot line.
They tried to Beetlejuice it. But only Beetlejuice can Beetlejuice it.
I haven't seen that. It was.
I'm with you. I think I'm with you, Chuck. I think that too. The thing that hurt it was the tonal differences.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt very serious, and then they would like go get drunk and like go to like the cowboy bar, and then it was serious again, and then they would like, hang out and just have a good time for a while. Like the thing about the first Accountant is he was like so hyper focused on his task that like they didn't steer off course, which like it's fine. You want to show them bonding as brothers. But then I think then you have to lower the stakes of what they're going after.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I think for the first one, you have like they have the awesome sequences of him doing the accounting, where he's in the room and he's written all over the walls, just iconic. It motivates me every single day to be a better accountant. Okay. And when they were making a sequel, I guarantee they didn't sit down and they're just like, how can we add more accounting to this sequel? You know, like they're like, oh, let's try and throw in more action or let's do this, let's do that. But I feel like the first one has like that perfect balance where his character is just like, he's really locked in on his profession. But now in the second one, people are very much like focused in on, they like the character, but it's like, yeah, we don't want him to do any more accounting, you know? Just my thought. Some of the action set pieces looked a little wonky to me too. I don't know if anyone else felt like that, like background, like maybe they were all shot on location and it just looked like really weird to me. And like certain
Towards
shots.
the end, I noticed a couple weird.
I think the smoke did not look great in the final fight.
Yeah, it's no warfare. I tell you that.
No, that's for sure. I do think though, man, I love his RV though, or like whatever that thing's called.
Yeah,
the thing is awesome. I want one of those so bad. I think it's sweet.
See, honestly, I liked the sequences, even like the opening where he goes to like the dating and he like basically like, you know, optimized his profile, you know, and it's like he just like he made like the AI picture of him like smiling and all that stuff. I thought that was funny. That was fun. I like that. You know, and I honestly like the bar thing. It was fun. It was good. It's just I think for like the sequel for this movie, while there are things that I would have liked to like for them to add into it, I really don't see how they could have made this movie any other way and like continued to like bring in the audience that really loved the first one.
It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was actually like a great sequel to The Accountant.
Yeah.
I think also this is probably one of the better versions of what this movie could have been as The Accountant, because it's like I feel like this is a character that there's not a whole lot of paths forward, or you're not like you didn't leave The Accountant 1 and you're like Accountant 2 time, let's go, let's get it. Like it's just I'm pretty impressed. I think overall, I'm not saying it's great, but I would say like it's a very serviceable sequel. Can't wait for 8 more years and we'll get The Accountant 3. Let's be hype.
He's gonna be like a retired partner at this point, dude. I mean,
yeah. Or
no, he'd probably be partner by now.
Well, actually, we just need to get to The Accountant 4, and then it's like him versus the Big Four. And that'd be great.
Right. He's got his kid. He's sending him to like, you know, he's sending him off to school to go be an accountant, and he has to, I don't know, be kind of crazy. The possibilities are endless. The accounting universe.
They should tie this into other universes. They should put him in like the amateur in the same universe. Yeah.
They like meet up. They would have a blast, dude. Those guys would do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could get a working man in there too, because why not? You know,
because why not?
All Jason Statham.
Yeah, just Jason Statham playing 10 different versions of Jason Statham, and then just Ben Affleck and John Bernthal. I feel like we've gotten a lot of John Bernthal recently, which I'm not complaining about.
Love it.
Making that observation.
And we got the Odyssey coming up, man. I mean, I'm happy.
Maybe it's because we just watched Punisher too.
Daredevil.
That he's all the time right there.
And then it's like he's also last year.
We just watched the Amateur. Yeah, John Bernthal is gonna have to play 2 characters as well in the cinematic universe we just created.
He's literally the same character. He's the same character in that movie and
he is.
This one.
Yeah,
he's just he's like an agent out there, or not an agent, but you know, not in this one. But
so what did we give The Accountant 2? I give it a 73 out of 100.
I'll give it a crisp 70.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm at 72.
72. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I think, can we confidently call this in the classification of 3.5 star bangers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is a real serious certified 3.5 star banger.
Yeah. You're going to have a good time. This is a very big, grab all of the older men that you know and bring them to this because they're gonna like it.
Hey, yo.
This is a big That Crowd movie. This is one of the older crowds I've seen at the multiplex recently. A lot of the olds came out of the woodwork.
I loved it though. It was like, and it was funny because there'd be things he would do, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, yeah, that's funny.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
So that is The Accountant. Jack, before you have to head off, any of the trailers that really tickled your fancy that you wanted to touch on? Maybe?
Oh man, what trailer came out this week that I really liked? Honestly, really none of these tickled my interest. I gotta say, I know what you did last summer though. I mean, seeing Fred and Daphne just like pull up again. Didn't even see the first one, but like it's cool to know that they still exist.
You're feeling nostalgic for something you've never seen.
I feel nostalgic for Scooby Doo.
Gotcha.
See, they're just like so like. I'm not gonna say they're typecast because like obviously they were like big actors at their time, and they're still like like very well known. But forever and always, they will be my Scooby Doo, my boys. So I don't know. Have you guys seen the first one? I feel like you have, Hunter, right?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh wow, yeah. Then yeah. Before I leave, I do want to say though, I know you guys are gonna talk about this later, but like. Pretty sure I know what happens in the episode of The Last of Us, but
I
haven't watched it. But I think it's kind of impossible because like
I kept a good secret from Charles.
Oh, you had no idea?
I had no idea.
Dude, I don't even watch the show and I know that.
I know. I'm shocked you didn't know.
Like they would just like someone would be like pulling out a golf club and they'd be like, oh.
What's Joel's handicap?
Well, what was Joel's hand? No.
Dun, dun. I'm shocked you didn't know, Charles, but I'm actually very glad because I want to hear your thoughts as someone who didn't know.
Yeah.
Will he keep watching the show? This is going to be the big question.
I mean, yeah.
This week has to be a good episode, I will say, because I think a lot of people are going to jump off the bandwagon if this is a bad episode this week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Well, Jack, thank you for joining us.
Of course, fellas.
Appreciate it. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. I think you're taking a meeting for a final, which does not sound fun. But
good luck.
Yeah,
you do, man.
Thanks, fellas. Peace.
See you.
All right, now it's just the cute ones left.
The OGs.
Yeah, the OG. Hey, we're throwing it back. We're throwing it back to an early days of the pod.
Yeah.
All right, we have two last pieces of news here. We really went out of order. The folks at home were probably all thrown off. Someone just crashed their Prius into a tree because they were so concerned about what just happened. They got whiplash for the podcast.
Why are we talking about The Last of Us not during the review time?
So The Hunger Games, Sunrise of the Reaping, found its cast. Joseph Zeta is Haymitch. McKenna Grace is Macely Donner. Whitney Peake is
Grace.
Yeah. Whitney Peake is Lenore Dove Baird, and Jesse Plemons is playing Plurtok Heavensby, which Plurtok Heavensby is a good name that I actually did know because that is from the other Hunger Games, along with Haymitch is the name from the other ones I know. So,
you mean the McKenna Grace from the hit TV show Young Sheldon?
The same McKenna Grace, yes, who is also in the hit movie duology Ghostbusters Afterlife and its sequel Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar.
That same McKenna Grace. Also the same McKenna Grace from the wonderful Captain Marvel, who she plays a young Carol in. So think about that.
She does?
She does. So yeah, that is coming next year. I'm actually pretty pumped for those. I really love Hunger Games. I think it's one of the few teen ones. It's like that and Harry Potter to me are like 1A, 1B.
Yeah, Suzanne Collins has such a chokehold over.
It's such a good formula too.
Yeah. Like they just tell her, write a book, we'll make a movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Pretty cool. What's the last piece of news?
The last piece of news is actually a quote from the Netflix CEO. He said, going to the movie theaters and wanting to make films for theaters is an outmoded idea. He thinks it's outdated to go to the movie theater because audiences want to watch films at home. And let me just say this to this guy. Where am I looking? Where's my camera? You stop it right now, sir. You
This
stop
guy
it right this
stinks.
minute. This guy stinks.
This guy stinks.
This guy's not cool. Listen, buddy.
This guy, man.
Don't do that. Stop saying what you're saying.
Ugh, that makes
Here, hang on. What's his name? His name is Ted Sarandos. Listen up, Ted. I want you to go up to a random person on the street, Ted, and ask them to name one Netflix character's name. I bet they can't. I bet they can't do it. I want you to ask them to name you one original Netflix movie. I bet they can't do it. But you know what they can do? They can name things that are in theaters because theaters matter. This guy stinks.
This guy does stink.
So yeah, also very funny for him to announce this and then have just an amazing original movie just do so well at the box office like right afterwards. So very funny. But yeah, Netflix. I might have to unsubscribe from Netflix.
Stay in your lane, Netflix.
Honestly, I have thought about unsubscribing from Netflix. I really don't use it a whole lot. I think once Stranger Things is over, I'm going to unsubscribe from Netflix, and I'll just spin zone it into a protest of this Ted guy.
To be fair, I feel like a lot of streaming services I could like.
But honestly, Max is like my number one, and I don't really use Max to watch movies. I use it to watch TV shows.
Well, it's kind of getting to the point where I have so many movies. It's like, do I really need streaming?
Exactly.
I don't know. Whatever.
So let's get into some trailers. So we just kind of did I Know What You Did Last Summer. So this is joining the camp of Scream of spiritual remakes. A group of friends are terrorized by a stalker who knows a gruesome incident from their past, specifically what they did last summer. So let's bring back some of the original cast, including Jennifer Love Hewitt. You guys mentioned the Freddie Prinze Jr. And I don't think that his wife is in this like in person because I know she did die in the original movie. So I think it's just Freddie Prinze Jr. But also starring Madeline Klein, best known for what's that show? Outer Banks?
Outer Banks, yep.
So yeah. I don't know. Looks pretty good. Looks like a fun summer slasher. Count me in.
I did not watch this trailer.
Was it too scary for you?
I saw horror and I ran the other direction.
Bummer. You missed a good one. It's a pretty good trailer.
Okay.
Next up is another horror movie called Weapons. Weapons is stars. Honestly, it's a great cast. It stars Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, Austin Abrams, Alden Ehrenreich, which is Love My King, getting some more work. Directed by Zach Krieger. It is a interrelated multi-story horror epic about the disappearance of high school students in a small town. Apparently, all these kids just kind of got up and left one night, and no one knows why. Trailer was quite spooky. So
it was really short, right?
It was very short. It was like a 30-second little tease thing, but it looks good. The images of the kids running is very scary, but I liked it, so I'm in.
I love all these horror trailers.
I think I don't love the horror where it's like over the top gore. I don't love that. I do like the little that's a little spooky, or like a little slasher vibe. I like those. So that was Weapons. And then please tell me you watched the Heads of State trailer.
That's the one with John Cena and
Idris Elba, where Idris Elba is the prime minister and John Cena is the president. Also with Jack Quaid and Priyanka Jonas. This looked like a perfect streaming movie.
Yep.
This looked very much like I'm going to watch it at home, and I'll forget about it about 3 days later.
But you'll have fun in the moment.
I think I might.
Yeah. Nothing really to add there.
I was going to see if you had something insightful to say.
Not really.
Next up is Mountainhead. Mountainhead is a satirical drama film comedy from the creator of Succession, starring Steve Carell, Jason Schwartzman, Corey Michael Smith, and Rami Youssef. It's about these 4 billionaires who go on a retreat, and then something just goes horribly wrong, and I think they're like a big economic issue goes on while they're all at this retreat. So yeah, I think this is either going to be very fun and funny and a very good movie, or it's going to be like the most hit you over the head political messaging ever. I don't think there's any in between. But
what is with this guy just making content about like rich people?
Like, I don't know. I don't know. Jesse Armstrong, what's up with that, buddy?
Figure it out.
Maybe you know what he kind of has, because he made arguably one of the best shows of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then the last trailer is one that I am pumped about, and that is Predator Badlands. I am beyond excited for this. I love Alien. I love Predator. I am very excited, especially because there's already a connection between Alien and Predator in this trailer, which we can deep dive to in a minute if you want. But first, Charles, are we in on Predator Badlands?
It's kind of spooky.
You're 23 years old.
All right, fine, I'm in.
There he is. There he is. Do you want me to tell you about the connections here?
Sure.
All right. So when it opens up, there's like the other skulls on the ship of the Predator. We see what looks like a War of the Worlds skull. We looks like another human skull. Some kind of large ape-looking skull. I didn't see an alien skull, but I honestly wasn't looking that closely there. But the thing that is cool is starring Elle Fanning along with the Predator. And Elle Fanning is what appears to be a android from the Weyland-Yutani organization, which is the company in the Alien movies. So this is a nice little crossover between the Alien movies and Predator movies, which we obviously got a great Alien movie last year with Alien Romulus, which is getting a sequel. So I wonder if that'll connect more to the Predator, and this is all leading to a Alien Predator crossover, which would be awesome. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know you're pretty pumped for that.
Yeah.
I could tell. So that's why I had to lay it on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it for trailers and news. We're kind of in a weird roundabout spot since we did our reviews first, but we can talk Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your thoughts on Last of Us, since you did not know what was coming.
Are we doing spoilers? I guess we kind of already
spoiled. I think we have to do full spoilers. Sorry if you didn't know, but also how did you not know and why you listened to the podcast if you didn't know.
Yeah, well, I did not know that Joel died. Didn't know that at all. I'm very glad I didn't know that, because I think if I knew that, I would have just been waiting around the whole episode. Like, okay, when's it going to happen? But, like, we texted about this. It is such a bold decision to kill off the most redeeming and liked character in the show on episode 2 of the season. That's crazy. Yeah. And they're still making a 3rd season. So, and I've heard that, I think you probably told me this, but like he's still going to be around this season, like flashbacks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just a crazy move. And
so
I was watching with my sister. I was in Chicago, and she was working and like wasn't actually watching. She just like was kind of listening. And she literally asks me when Joel's getting beat up, like, is Joel going to die? And I look at her and I'm like, no, he's not going to die. He's the main character. 5 minutes later, dies.
Super dead.
Egg on my face. But yeah, I was floored. I was like, I mean, I'll watch this episode, but I'm with you. If this is not a good episode, it's going to be really hard to get the momentum back. Sounds like most people who watched this episode, though, kind of expected it because they played the game or like knew
this guy.
Like I saw TikToks about it. Like one of the, like, you know how people make compilations after any,
yeah,
and they made a compilation about Joel in this show. And all the comments were like news coming, but like still couldn't take it. So like it sounds like a lot of people expected it. But yeah, they're gonna have to. I sure hope the rest of the season is like all gas.
Yeah, so obviously I played the game. So I have a very different. I knew it was happening. I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be the way it was. I think my biggest issue with it is the same issue as it that I had in the game, And that is, I think that the story they're trying to tell is the cycle of violence continues, that you can't escape the cycle of violence, that you have to, that you either need to like not participate in it or it's going to come back to haunt you, which is kind of like their whole thesis with this show. My issue with that is it only works, in my opinion, if you disagree with or you don't support the violence that's being done. So in the case of Joel, we all liked Ellie from season 1. And you know the bond and love that Joel has for Ellie because he lost his daughter. And so when Joel goes to save her because they're going to kill her otherwise, you see it as a righteous act. And then we get plopped into season 2, and Joel and Ellie are not on great speaking terms. And then you meet this other character in Abby, and you learn, oh, Abby's father is actually the one that Joel killed. And then Joel gets killed by Abby. Where then you kind of learn this backstory as we go along. My issue with it is the same issue I had in the game, and that's the timeline is wrong. If you want to prove this point, you should do all of the backstory stuff first. And you lead up and you build up to it, because I think if we had a point where, and Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, as someone who's outside, if you had a half of a season or a full season where you learned about Abby, you learned about her and her dad, and then eventually someone comes in and kills her dad, and she goes on this quest to get revenge. And by this point, you spent hours with Abby. You've spent 5 episodes with Abby. You like Abby a whole lot. And it turns out the person that she's going to kill is Joel. I think that's a much bigger impact on a viewer of this show than just to do it in episode 2 and then go back and give us some backstory. I really do think that it's a chronological error. And I think especially if the thesis you're trying to do is the cycle of violence is bad, you should show the love that someone has for the other person before committing the act, because now you don't care about Abby. You want Abby to not be around anymore. You want Ellie to basically destroy Abby. So you can give me all this backstory on Abby now, but I already have my opinion set on Abby. My opinion is set in stone on Abby because I know what she does. If you made me like Abby beforehand, that changes my opinion of what she ends up doing. And I think that is where the big mess up comes from. And they did it in the game, and they're doing it in the show. And I don't know why, especially if you already split game 2 into 2 seasons, why this wouldn't be the season finale, why you wouldn't do all the backstory stuff first, and then you get there and the season finale, or like maybe the penultimate episodes, you still have one more episode afterwards where it's kind of the fallout of what happened to Joel. And then, Ellie's going to decide to go off and try to get revenge from Abby. You could have built up a whole season of us liking both characters and then doing that. And it's such a shattering moment where it's like, wow, like I understand Abby's pain and frustration. And then, but it's Joel. Like, why do it to Joel? But she had to do it to Joel because that's who did it to her. Where you do it this way, and it's like, my mind is made up. And I think that you're going to see over the next couple of weeks, because if they do it like the game, they're going to try to make Abby more human as you go along. I just don't think it's going to stick. And I think that the story they're trying to tell is not as impactful because of that.
If that is where they're going to go with it, where like just try to, like you said, make Abby more human and kind of build the audience's empathy for her or towards her, then yeah, like I'm probably out on this season. Just thinking about it, I completely agree. If they had started off with 4 or 5 episodes of just Abby and getting to know her, probably would have been a little confused.
Yeah, or you go back and forth where it's like Abby has this, we do an episode with Abby, also with Joel and Ellie, where it's like them doing things. You go back and forth. It's like, oh, look at this Abby character I don't know about, and I'm like learning to like her as well. And look at, oh, wow, her and her dad are bonding, and then she goes through this traumatic event where her dad dies. You don't know who does it, but now she has to go get revenge to get up. And you're like, yeah, like, heck yeah. I mean, someone killed your dad. Like, go get revenge. Turns out that guy is Joel. Like, that, I think, is a much more impactful moment because it does the cycle of violence right.
I think you're right.
So that's my big complaint. And I'm shocked the same way, especially with all the complaints from the game. But we'll have to see. Maybe, they said they're going to change some stuff. So we'll have to see how they change. But yeah. So yeah, that's all I got on The Last of Us.
I don't have anything to add.
All right. Anything else in general?
No.
All right. Well, next week we have Marvel. We have the Thunderbolts next week, and we'll talk some more Last of Us. We'll talk the studio. But yeah, big Thunderbolts week next week. So very pumped for that. It's our first Marvel since Captain America back in February. So it's been a couple months, and then one more for the year. So pretty cool. All right. Well, if nothing else, have a good week at the box office, everybody. Go see Sinners if you haven't seen it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And yeah, The Accountant 2. Good time. Good time at the theater. Good time at the multiplex. It's a good word. All right.